What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? Noah Gray here, tight end for the Kansas City Chiefs. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to Josh's channel and check out showmefootball.com for more.
What is up, Chiefs Kingdom? Welcome back to another video on my channel. My name is Josh Fan of showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, covering your Kansas City Chiefs. And the Kansas City Chiefs have made their selection in the first round of the 2024 NFL Draft. But they didn't pick at 32. No, they traded up with the Buffalo Bills to move to pick 28. And with the 28th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select Texas wide receiver Xavier Worthy. Initial reaction to the pick: I like this for the Chiefs. And I know there's been a lot of debate surrounding the two Texas wide receivers in this draft, Xavier Worthy and Adonai Mitchell. A lot of Chiefs fans on both ends of the spectrum on both guys, and I was one that actually defended Xavier Worthy a lot and would have zero problem with the Chiefs taking him. And of course they took him, and I have zero problem with it. I know at first glance a lot of people have concerns because of the weight, because the track record of guys who run really fast 40-yard dashes at the combine. You know, people think of John Ross. People even think of McCole Hardman as far as Chiefs examples go. But Xavier Worthy is so much better of a prospect than either of those guys because he actually runs good routes, gets open on all three levels of the defense. And that's the biggest thing for me. You know, McCole Hardman, he came to the Chiefs not really knowing how to play the wide receiver position. John Ross really was not a good route runner and not nearly as good of a ball tracker as Xavier Worthy. Xavier Worthy is a fantastic ball tracker. That's another reason that I really like him. People will give him the gadget label. They'll give him the small, fast guy label, but he's just a lot more than that if you really look at the tape, if you really watch him play. Obviously, the speed jumps out at you. Yeah, he broke the combine record. I don't think he plays like he runs a 4.21 on the field, but that said, he still has game-breaking speed. He definitely plays extremely fast. And another thing that I noticed about him watching him is that he has surprisingly good contact balance for a guy his size. He's definitely a small guy, but I saw him take some hits. I saw him run some dudes over, and I think that bodes well for him translating to the NFL because a lot of people are concerned about that weight. First of all, he weighed in at 165 at the combine. I don't think that's his playing weight. I've said 100 times, you know, I do have concerns about the weight with Xavier Worthy, how he's going to hold up. But after digging a little bit deeper into it, played 39 games in 3 seasons at Texas, held up extremely well. He also produced at the college level, which is another reason I liked him over Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell wasn't very productive in college. Yeah, he had the prototypical traits you look for in an ex-receiver, but Xavier Worthy was the better player than him. He actually produced. He was the number 1 wide receiver for that Texas team. He had 980 yards and 12 touchdowns as a true freshman at Texas. If there is one knock on Xavier Worthy's game that I noticed watching him play, it's that he's not great in contested catch situations, which that shocks nobody because the guy is 5'11 and like 170 pounds. He's not a contested catch receiver. But here's the thing. The Kansas City Chiefs don't really utilize contested catch receivers in their offense. They don't like throwing 50-50 balls. Andy Reid likes scheming guys open. Andy Reid is going... And that's another reason I'm confident about this pick is because it's Andy Reid, and Andy Reid knows how to utilize guys like this. This is a freak athlete right here, and I'm glad that the Chiefs are sticking to the trend of drafting freak athletes because Sky Moore was not that. You see, he didn't work out. The year after that, Rashee Rice, freak athlete, worked out pretty well so far, off-field stuff aside. And now Xavier Worthy is here, and I really like his outlook here in Kansas City, and I believe he's a really good fit. So I honestly have zero concerns about Xavier Worthy's skill set translating to the NFL. It's just is he able to hold up? Is he able to stay healthy? And, you know, if you look at receivers in the NFL now, they're getting smaller and smaller. I mean, hell, McCole Hardman for the Kansas City Chiefs is on the lighter side. Devontae Smith for the Philadelphia Eagles, he's a little bit taller and He's got a more slender frame than Xavier Worthy, but he's only about 170 pounds. I do believe that Xavier Worthy can get his weight up. I believe he's going to bulk up as time progresses. So, again, not really too much concerned about Xavier Worthy, the player, just more concerned about Xavier Worthy health-wise, But I like the pick, man. I think he's a great fit for the Chiefs offense, and that's a good segue. I wanted to talk about the fit. Obviously, it fits what the Chiefs like. They like the smaller, faster, shiftier guys, and I had said that throughout the offseason. I believe that's why they brought in Hollywood Brown, and we'll get into Hollywood Brown here more in a second because there are implications for him with this Xavier Worthy pick. But ever since the Chiefs traded Tyreek Hill, they have been searching for a replacement, and this isn't to say that Xavier Worthy is the next Tyreek Hill, because I'm sure people will freak out when I say that. But this is what the Chiefs are trying to replicate. They wanted the next Tyreek Hill on their team, and they wanted a guy that could finally stretch the field again the way that Tyreek Hill could, and Xavier Worthy can absolutely do that. Also, I think it's great that they brought in another field stretcher to go along with Hollywood Brown, and then you have Rashee Rice and Travis Kelce who can kind of eat over the middle of the field. We'll see Rashee Rice getting a lot of wide open slants, in my opinion, with Xavier Worthy drawing attention, running a deep route, as a decoy, as a rookie. I think he'll be useful. But I said I was going to talk about Hollywood Brown, and that's because this definitely feels like a move for next year, in my opinion, because Hollywood Brown is only on a 1-year deal. Xavier Worthy is a lot like Hollywood Brown, and I don't see the Chiefs keeping both of them. I believe as much as Xavier Worthy was a move made because the Kansas City Chiefs need a wide receiver, just regardless of anything, this was also a move they made for next year because he can slide into Hollywood Brown's role, and the Chiefs like players like Hollywood Brown, like Tyreek Hill. They view Xavier Worthy in the same light. Ultimately, it was important for the Kansas City Chiefs to come out of this draft with a receiver in the top 3 rounds. They did that. It was important for them to add another receiver under team control for the next 4 to 5 years. They did that. And now we get to the point where we discuss the fact that the Kansas City Chiefs traded up. We have to talk about what they gave up, and we also have to talk about the fact that they traded with the Buffalo Bills, and if you look at the Chiefs' track record of either trading with the Buffalo Bills or trading in front of the Buffalo Bills in the NFL draft as of recently, it's worked out pretty well for the Kansas City Chiefs, so odds are that Xavier Worthy will end up the same way. But looking at what the Kansas City Chiefs gave up, this was actually a very good deal. So this is from Seth Walder of ESPN. I bookmarked this on Twitter, but he says this is one of the top 10, or this is one of the 10 cheapest first-round non-quarterback trade-ups in the last 20 years. The Chiefs only surrendered an extra 6th-round pick's worth of value. So for the full compensation, the Bills trade pick 28, 133, and 248 to the Kansas City Chiefs for picks 32, 95, and 221. So ultimately, the Chiefs just moved back from 95 to 133 in the 3rd round, and then they give up 221 for 248 in order to jump in front of the Bills or take the Bills pick. Not bad at all. The only downside is the Chiefs will only have 1 pick tomorrow night instead of 2, so not as much fun, but they didn't have to give up that much, and as Seth Walder's tweet indicated, the Kansas City Chiefs didn't give up very much, and it was one of the better trade-up values in the last 10 years or so of drafts. So really like this move for Kansas City, and I know some people are going to ask the question, did you really need to trade up? And yeah, you did, because if you notice, there was a small run on wide receivers there, and Brett Veach has been pretty good about knowing when to trade up in the past couple of drafts, because they know when teams are hot on their tail wanting the same player. Most likely there was another team interested in Xavier Worthy that the Chiefs felt like they had to jump in front of, and so that's why you see them trade up. But those are my initial thoughts, guys, on the Xavier Worthy draft pick. I want to hear from you. Do you like the Xavier Worthy pick for Kansas City, or are you on the opposite end? Would love to hear from you guys down in the comments below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe for more draft coverage as this thing keeps going. Make sure you check out my work on showmefootball.com and arrowheadaddict.com, and I will see you all in the next one. Go Chiefs!